Following list of contents have been discussed in this slide. What is soil pollution? What are the types of soil pollution as specific or widespread soil pollution? What are major sources? What pollutants that contaminate soil? And what are the negative consequences of soil pollution? As soil pollution covers a broad spectrum of negative consequences that affect on human, animals and plants and effect on the ecosystem. Now, what are the control measures of soil pollution? Now, what is soil pollution? Air, water and soil are being polluted alike. Soil, being a universal sink, bears the greatest burden of environmental pollution. It is getting polluted in a number of ways. There is urgency in controlling the soil pollution in order to preserve the soil fertility and increase the productivity. Pollution may be defined as undesirable change in physical, chemical and biological characteristics of air, water and soil which affect human life, plants and animals, industrial progress, living conditions and cultural assets. The basis of agriculture is soil. All crops for human food and animal feed depend on it. Soil pollution basically defined as the presence of toxic chemicals which is known as pollutants or contaminants present in the soil in high enough concentration to pose a risk to human health or the ecosystem. In case of contaminants which occur naturally in the soil, even when their levels are not high enough to pose a risk, soil pollution is still said to occur if the level of contaminants in soil exceed the level that should naturally present. Soil pollution is a global threat that is particularly serious in regions like Europe, Asia, North Africa, as indicated by Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. Major types of soil pollution. Phenomena such as erosion, loss of organic carbon, increased salt content, combating acidification and chemical pollution are the major causes of current soil degradation. Moreover, Food and Agricultural Organization in the United Nations distinguish between two types of soil pollution, that is specific pollution and widespread pollution. Specific pollution accounted for a particular causes occurring in small area, the reason for which can be easily identified. Land pollution such as this is normally found in cities, old factory sites, around roadways, illegal dumps and sewage treatment stations. Now, the widespread pollution covers extensive areas and has several causes, the reasons for which are difficult to identify. Cases such as these involve the spreading of pollutants by air groundwater systems and seriously affect human health and environment. Among the most common cause of soil contamination caused by human activity, the Food and Agricultural Organization highlights industry, mining, military activities, waste which include technological waste and wastewater management, farming, stock breeding, the building of urban and transport infrastructure. What are the processes that cause soil pollution? There are two main processes that cause soil pollution. One is natural process, another is anthropogenic or man-made process. In natural process, as in some extremely rare processes, some pollutants are naturally accumulated into soil. This can occur due to differential deposition of soil by the atmosphere. Another manner in which this type of soil pollution can occur is via the transportation of soil pollutants with precipitation water. Apart from the rare cases when a natural accumulation of chemicals leads to soil pollution, natural processes may also have an influence on human released toxic chemicals into the soil, overall decreasing or increasing the pollutant toxicity or the level of contamination of the soil. Natural accumulation of compounds in soil due to imbalance between atmospheric deposition and leaking away with precipitation water. For example, concentration and accumulation of perchlorate in soil in arid environment. An example of natural soil pollution is the accumulation of compounds containing perchlorate anions in some dry and arid ecosystem. It is important to note that some contaminants can be naturally produced in the soil under the effect of certain environmental conditions. For example, perchlorate formation can be formed in the soil containing chlorine and certain metals during thunderstorms. Natural production in soil under certain environmental conditions takes place. Leaks from severe lines into subsurfaces, for example adding chlorine, which could generate trihalomethane such as chloroform. Second is anthropogenic or man-made pollutants. Anthropogenic soil pollution originates in several types of processes. Some industrial and some accidental. Human-caused soil pollution can work in conjunction with natural processes to increase the toxic contamination level in the soil. Accidental spills and leaks during storage, transport or use of chemicals, for example leaks and spills of gasoline and diesel at gas stations. Foundry activities and manufacturing processes that involve furnaces or other processes resulting in the possible dispersion of contaminants into the environment. Mining activities involving the crushing and processing of raw material, for instance heavy metals emitting toxic substances. Agricultural activities that involve the diffusion of herbicide, pesticide, insecticide and fertilizers when used or sprayed on the plant for protection to increase the crop yield. These fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides directly contaminate the soil. Transportation activities releasing toxic vehicle emissions, chemical waste dumping, whether accidental or deliberate, such as illegal dumping. The storage of waste in landfills, as the waste products may leak into groundwater or generate polluted vapor. Cracked paint chips falling from building walls, especially lead-based paint. Construction sites are the most important triggers of soil pollution in urban areas due to their specific nature. Any chemical substance handled at construction sites may pollute the soil. The higher risk comes from those chemicals that can travel more easily through the air, as fine particulate matter. The chemicals that travel as particulate matter are more resistant to degradation and bioaccumulate in living organisms such as polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Additionally, construction dust may easily spread around through air and is especially dangerous because of its lower particle size less than 10 micron. Such construction dust can trigger respiratory illness such as asthma, bronchitis, even cancer. Moreover, the sites that involve the demolition of older buildings can release asbestos as a toxic mineral that can act as a poison in the soil. Asbestos particles can be redistributed by the wind. Waste disposal. Direct discharge of industrial waste to the soil. Industrial waste is the waste produced by industrial activity which include any material that is rendered useless, include hazardous chemicals, polychlorinated biphenyl, chlorinated industrial solvents, dioxins produced from the manufacture of pesticides and incineration of waste. Hazardous waste may be toxic, corrosive or radioactive species. The petroleum industry creates many petroleum hydrocarbon waste products. Some of these wastes such as benzene, methyl benzene are known to be carcinogenic in nature. Discharge of sewage. Sewage or domestic municipal wastewater is a type of wastewater that is produced by community problem. It consists mostly of grey water, black water, soaps and detergents. Landfill and illegal dumping. Landfill is a site for the disposal of waste material. Landfill is the oldest and most common form of waste disposal. Coal ash, fly ash or flue ash, also known as fly ash, known as pulverized fuel ash in the United Kingdom, is a coal combustion product that is composed of particulate fine particles of burnt fuel that are driving out of coal fire boilers. At the bottom of the boiler or chamber known as bottom fuel combined with flue ash or fly ash known as coal ash. What are the pollutants that contaminate the soil? Soil acts as natural sink for contaminants by accumulating and sometimes concentrated contaminants which end up in the soil from various sources. Teeny amount of contaminants accumulate in the soil and depending on the environmental conditions, including soil type and degradability of the released contaminant, can reach high levels and pollute the soil. Some of the most hazardous soil pollutants are xenobiotic. The term xenobiotic has Greek roots xenos, foreigner and bios, life. It means foreigner particles that contaminate the soil. Illustration detailing major soil pollutants is represented in this pic. Hydrocarbons, as include polyaromatic hydrocarbons, can be sourced to coke, coal processing, vehicle emissions, cigarette smoke and extraction of shale oil. For example, other include naphthalene, anthracene, contribute 42% overall contribution. These polyaromatic hydrocarbons contain only carbon and hydrogen atoms and contain more than one aromatic ring in their chemical structures, and these are resistant towards degradation. Examples listed: naphthalene, anthracene. And the second major portion that include the heavy metals that contribute 31%. These metals can originate from several sources such as mining activities, agricultural activities, electronic waste and medical waste. The other contribution towards the soil pollution include mineral oil that contribute 11% and 7% include other contribution, that is the use of other sources that contaminate the soil. Pesticides are the substances that used to kill or inhibit growth of pests. Common types of pesticides used in agriculture include herbicides used to control weeds and other unwanted plants. Most of the herbicides are biodegradable by soil bacteria. However, one group derived from trinitrotoluene have impurity like dioxin, which is very toxic and non-biodegradable. Another herbicide is paraquat. It is highly toxic, but it rapidly degrades in the soil due to action of bacteria and doesn't kill soil fauna. Other types of herbicides include triazines, carbamates, amides, phenoxyalkyl acids, and aliphatic acid. Insecticides that used to kill insects and sprayed on the plants to increase the crop yield. The first insecticides used in 19th century were inorganic, Paris green for example, and other compounds of arsenic used. Nicotine has also been used since the last 18th century. After that, neonicotinoids, a group of new insecticides, have been developed. Similarity with the nicotine, these neonicotinoids, group of new insecticides that include imidacloprid, acetamiprid, new classes of insecticides that sprayed on the plants to increase the crop yield. Some of them are systemic pesticides and some are the contact pesticides. The systemic pesticides which sprayed on the plants and through the root enter into the soil, and contact pesticides which directly sprayed on the plants and directly enter into the soil system via contact method. Fungicide used to kill parasitic fungi or inhibit their growth. The insects damage not only standing crops but also stored ones. Mercury containing compounds, thiocarbamates, copper sulfate. However, the unintentional diffusion of pesticide into the environment, commonly known as pesticide drift, poses a variety of environmental concerns such as water pollution and soil pollution. Several types of synthetic pesticide have been used. Among synthetic pesticides, organochlorines include DDT, aldrin, dialdrin. They are cheap to produce. They are persistent type of pesticide. The usage fell as the harmful environmental effects were realized. It was found worldwide in fish and birds and was even discovered in the snow in Antarctic region. It affects the nervous system, endocrine system, and causes the eggshells of birds to lack calcium, causing them to easily breakable, as well as increased concentration via the food chain. It is known to enter via permeable membranes, so fish get it through their gills as it has low water solubility. It tends to stay at the water surface, so organisms that live there are most affected. DDT found in fish that formed part of human food chain caused concern, but the level found in liver, kidney and brain tissues was less than 1 ppm and in fat was less than 10 ppm, which was below the level likely to cause harm. However, DDT was banned in UK and United States to stop the further build-up into the food chain. Organophosphates, for example parathion, methylparathion and about 40 other insecticides are available nationally. Parathion is highly toxic. Methylparathion is less toxic than the parathion. Methylparathion is the degradation product of parathion, and malathion is generally considered safe as it has low toxicity and is rapidly broken down in mammalian liver. Farmers use fertilizers to correct soil deficiencies. As oxygen from air and water, but other necessary nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur and more must be obtained from the soil. Fertilizers contaminate the soil with impurities which come from the raw material used for their manufacture. Mixed fertilizers often contain ammonium nitrate, phosphorus as phosphorus pentoxide, and potassium as potassium dioxide. For instance, arsenic, lead and cadmium present in traces in rock, phosphate, mineral get transferred to superphosphate fertilizers. Since the metals are not biodegradable, their accumulation in the soil above their toxic level due to excessive use of phosphate fertilizer become an indestructible poison for crops. The overuse of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fertilizers reduce quantity of vegetables and crops grown on soil over the year. It also reduces the protein content of wheat, maize, grams grown on the soil. The carbohydrate quality of such crops also gets degraded. Excess potassium content in the soil decreases vitamin C and carotene content in vegetables and fruits. The vegetables and fruits grown on over-fertilized soil are more prone to attacks by insects and disease. There are certain negative consequences of soil pollution as on human health, ecosystem, animal and plant health. Effect on human health. Soil contaminants can exist in all three phases: solid, liquid and gases. Therefore, these contaminants can find their way into the human body via several channels such as direct contact with the skin or through the inhalation of contaminated soil dust. The short-term effects of human exposure to polluted soil include headache, nausea and vomiting, coughing, pain in the chest, irritation of the skin and eyes, fatigue and weakness. A variety of long-term exposure has been linked to the soil pollution. Exposure to high level of lead can result in the permanent damage to nervous system. Children are vulnerable to lead. Depression of central nervous system, damage to vital organs such as kidney and liver, high risk of developing cancer. It can also noted that many soil pollutants such as petroleum, hydrocarbons, industrial solvents have been linked to congenital disorders in humans. Thus, soil pollution can have several negative effects on human health. Effects on plants and animals. Since soil pollution is often accompanied by decrease in the availability of nutrients, plant life ceases to thrive in such soil. Soil contaminated with inorganic aluminum can prove toxic to plants. Also, this type of pollution often increases the salinity of soil, making it inhospitable for the growth of plant life. Plants that are grown in polluted soil may accumulate high concentration of soil pollutants through a process known as bioaccumulation. When these pollutants are consumed by herbivores, all the accumulated plants are passed up the food chain. This can result in loss, extinction of many desirable animal species. Also, these pollutants can eventually make their way to the top of food chain and manifest as diseases in human beings. Effects on the ecosystem. Soil contaminants can have significant negative consequences for ecosystem. Since the volatile contaminants in the soil can be carried away into the atmosphere by wind or can seep into underground water reserves, soil pollution can be direct contributor to air and water pollution. It can also contribute towards the acid rain by releasing huge quantities of ammonia into the atmosphere. Acid soil are inhospitable to several microorganisms that improve soil texture and help in decomposition of organic matter. Thus, negative effects of soil pollution also impact soil quality and texture. There are radical soil chemistry changes which can arise from the presence of many hazardous chemicals even at low concentration of the contaminated species. These changes can manifest in the alteration of metabolism of endemic microorganisms and arthropods resident in the given soil environment. Even if chemical effect on lower life forms is small, the lower pyramid levels of the food chain may ingest these chemicals, which normally becomes more concentrated for each consuming ring of the food chain. Many of these effects are well known, such as concentration of persistent DDT, dichlorodiphényl trichloroethane material for avian consumers, leading to weakening of eggshells, increased chick mortality, and potential extinction of species. Effects occur to agricultural land which have certain types of soil contamination. Contaminants alter plant metabolism, often causing a reduction in crop yield. This has secondary effects upon soil conservation since some of these chemical contaminants have long half-lives, and in other cases derivative chemicals are formed from the decay of primary soil contaminants. Control of soil pollution. The following steps have been suggested to control soil pollution. To help prevent soil erosion, we can limit construction in sensitive areas. In general, we would need less fertilizers and fewer pesticides. If we could all adopt the 3 R's, reduce, reuse and recycle, this would give us less solid waste. Now first is the extraction and filtration technique. In solvent extraction, the contaminated soil is mixed with an extracting agent in an aqueous solution. Potential applications include the removal of metals such as cadmium, copper, zinc, nickel, chromium, arsenic, antimony and lead. Using a mineral solution, zinc, lead, organometallic compounds, and some cyanide using sodium hydroxide solution. Hydrocarbons and halogenated hydrocarbons can also be removed. Contamination is present in the finer or coarser fraction of the soil or the organic components. For example, humus is the organic component. Contamination can therefore be removed in some cases using a process which separates the soil into fractions on the basis of specific gravity or particle size or settling velocity. Now the next is thermal method. In thermal methods, there are two ways of heat treatment. Removal of contaminants by evaporation, either by direct heat transfer from heated air or an open flame, or by indirect heat transfer and destruction of contaminants directly or indirectly at an appropriate temperature. The gas leaving the heating appliances must be treated to destroy or remove any contaminants or unwanted products of combustion. A related process is steam stripping, in which steam is injected into soil to aid evaporation of relatively volatile contaminants which may be water soluble or insoluble. So the next is chemical method. Treatment of the soil in suspension in a suitable liquid and without sludging is the two possible methods. In these, intimate contact between soil and chemical is essential and should be frequently done so that process of detoxification is complete. Microbial treatment method. The microbial treatment methods appear to be more promising, which can deal with whole range of organic contaminants including phenol, polychlorinated hydrocarbons, oil and oil products, dioxins. There are two different ways of approaching the problem. A community of microbes already existing on the site is collected and cultured in the laboratory. Strains of microbes are developed in the laboratory that is capable of metabolizing particular chemicals. Excavation of the soil prior to treatment offers the greatest scope for creating optimum conditions. The excavated soil can be placed on thin layers to various depths using standard earth moving techniques, and microbes and nutrients applied using standard agricultural techniques such as fertilizing, ploughing and harrowing. Reducing chemical fertilizers and pesticide use, it can be controlled. Applying biofertilizers instead of using chemical fertilizers and manure. Biological methods of pest control can also reduce the use of pesticide and therefore minimize the soil pollution. Reusing the materials such as glass containers, plastic bags, paper, cloth can be reused at domestic level rather than being disposed, reducing solid waste pollution. Recycling and recovery of material. This is a reasonable solution for reducing soil pollution. Materials such as paper, some kinds of plastic, glass can and are being recycled. This decreases the volume of refuse and helps in conservation of natural resources. For example, recovery of 1 ton of paper can save 17 trees. Control of land loss and soil erosion can be attempted through restoring forest and grass cover to check wasteland, soil erosion and floods. Crop rotation or mixed cropping can improve the fertility of land. Soil waste treatment. Proper methods should be adopted for management of soil waste disposal. Industrial waste can be treated physically, chemically and biologically until they are less hazardous. Acidic and alkaline waste should be first neutralized. The insoluble material, if biodegradable, should be allowed to degrade under controlled conditions before being disposed. As a last, new areas for storage hazard waste should be investigated, such as deep well injection and more secure landfills. Burying the waste in locations situated away from residential areas is the simplest and most widely used technique of solid waste